Welcome, focused learners, to this explainer. You know, almost every single one of us is carrying some kind of grudge right now. Maybe it's a small annoyance, or maybe it's a deep, painful betrayal. Well, today, we're unpacking the actual science of letting it go. We are diving deep into the psychology of forgiveness. To really grasp this, think about it like this. What if you had to carry around a heavy backpack absolutely everywhere you went? But it's not filled with your laptop or your gym clothes. It's literally stuffed with jagged, heavy rocks. From the exact moment you wake up, all through your workday, right up until you toss and turn trying to fall asleep at night, you're lugging this exhausting weight around. Well, according to psychological research, that heavy physical and emotional burden is exactly what unforgiveness feels like in our minds and bodies. It's just this constant, draining presence that colors everything we do. So here's our clear, step-by-step roadmap for today. We're going to start with the weight of unforgiveness, define what forgiveness actually is, and then walk through the 4 phases of healing: uncovering the pain, making the decision, doing the work, and finally, deepening the meaning. Let's jump into section 1, the weight of unforgiveness and what it means to carry the past. We usually think holding a grudge is a way to punish the person who hurt us, right? It feels like if we let it go, we're letting them off the hook. But the science completely flips the script on this. Letting go isn't a free pass for them. It is a profound, active gift of healing that you give entirely to yourself. You are the one choosing to take off that backpack of rocks. Moving right along to section 2, what forgiveness actually is. It's time to bust some of the biggest myths out there. In the clinical world of psychology, forgiveness actually has a really active definition. It is a conscious willingness to abandon resentment, negative judgment, and indifferent behavior towards someone who unjustly hurt you. I want to be super clear here. It is not about making excuses for what they did, and it is absolutely not about forgetting it ever happened. It's a targeted, deliberate decision to drop the negative behaviors and feelings that you have been harboring inside. Now, this is a crucial distinction. People constantly confuse forgiveness with reconciliation, but they are totally different things. Reconciliation requires 2 people. It's about actively rebuilding trust in a relationship. Forgiveness, that is a solo mission. It's an internal, personal decision that happens entirely within you. You never, ever have to let an offender back into your life to free yourself from the pain they caused. So how do we actually do this? Psychologists often navigate this journey using a scientifically backed framework called the Enright Process Model. It breaks the whole thing down into 4 actionable phases: the uncovering phase, the decision phase, the work phase, and the deepening phase. Let's break these down one by one. That brings us to phase 1, uncovering pain. We have to actually stop and look at those rocks. This first stage, it's all about raw honesty. You've got to stop running from it and just confront your anger directly. You have to actively acknowledge the massive amount of emotional energy this grudge is stealing from you every single day. And, perhaps the hardest part to swallow, you might realize that this injury has actually permanently altered how you view the world. It's tough, for sure, but recognizing and fully acknowledging that pain is the absolute non-negotiable first step toward releasing it. Next up is phase 2, the decision. This is all about choosing peace. In this phase, it really hits you. Your old ways of dealing with this hurt, they just aren't working anymore. Holding on to that intense desire for revenge or letting constant bitterness simmer in the background is literally only damaging you. So you make a firm, conscious commitment to forgive. But remember the golden rule here. You aren't doing it because the other person somehow earned it or deserves it. You are doing it because you deserve peace. It is a powerful reclaiming of your own mental well-being. All right, here we go into phase 3, the work, specifically reframing the offender. I'm not going to lie to you, this is widely considered the absolute hardest psychological step of the whole process. It's the internal labor of empathy. You have to practice what psychologists call reframing, which means trying to see the person who hurt you in their full, complex context. It means admitting that even if they did something truly terrible, they probably aren't a 2-dimensional, 100% awful villain. You start to consider that maybe they acted out of their own unhealed trauma, or maybe there were completely unintended causes behind their actions. It's about widening your lens to see the whole picture. Think of a grudge as a literal disease in your system, fueled entirely by resentment and by only seeing the other person as a villain. The psychological antidote to that disease is empathy, compassion, and perspective-taking. By doing the really hard work of reframing, you actively build up compassion, and that directly neutralizes the toxic resentment you've been carrying around.
Finally, we reach phase 4, deepening meaning. This is where we actually empty that backpack.
In this deepening phase, something amazing happens. The suffering actually begins to transform. You take a step back and realize, hey, you aren't alone in your pain. Suffering is a universally shared human experience. It also requires a bit of humility, as you might look back and remember times when you made mistakes and desperately needed someone else's forgiveness. Through this deep introspective work, you can actually start to find a new purpose or a deeper meaning in the suffering you went through. Now, it absolutely does not make the injury a good thing, but it does make it meaningful. And here is the absolute gold at the end of this journey. The real breakthrough isn't just that you feel kind of nice emotionally. Research shows a measurable, scientifically proven increase in both your mental and your physical health. When that heavy weight finally leaves, your body literally heals.
Just imagine your day-to-day life without that heavy weight. You finally stop dragging the past into your future. Your current relationships instantly have way less tension because you aren't projecting old hurts onto new people. And most importantly, you build a profoundly better connection with yourself.
So, let's bring it all back to where we started. Think about that heavy bag you've been lugging around. What is one rock in your backpack that you are ready to start letting go of today? Just take a moment to reflect on that. Keep exploring, keep healing, and I'll see you in the next explainer.